Travel Nursing Market Update from NextMove.
I'm John Nolan with NextMove, and this is your Travel Nurse Market Update for the week of Tuesday, August 4th. Yesterday was the smallest daily rise in positive COVID cases in Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Each of those states had over 1,000 positive coronavirus tests over the last 24 hours. Also happened to be the smallest nationwide positive COVID day in several months. So what that's telling us is that the outbreak is in full force in the Midwest, even if it is kind of dumbing down in a couple of other areas. And that is creating a traveler's market right now. And we expect that traveler's market to stay in full force for the next 9 months or so, with the exception of some periods of calming, possibly in September or October. What's happening is a lot of hospitals are gearing up for kind of a second wave of this outbreak, first big wave in the Midwest. They're snatching up all the travelers, getting them locked into contracts. And what we're going to find is that after this first wave of contracting travelers is done, there will probably be a slowing period towards the middle of that first round of travel contracts. Like I said, late September, early October is when we're expecting that. It'll probably be short, and that cooling period will kind of get hot again. I'm thinking end of October, early November. So for the next 9 months, all of you travelers, especially you critical care folks, are in luck, and it is going to be a booming time, and we don't expect to see kind of a really slow down in the market again like we had in May and June of this year. With that said, if you are looking for travel contracts starting in September or even early October right now, I'd recommend getting in touch with your recruiter, making sure they've got all of your information updated and that they're on the lookout for you even this early. I think there's a lot of clients that are open to signing contracts with some of the more skilled, more experienced travel nurses, and they would even consider late September, early October starts as early as the middle of this month. A couple of other trends that we're seeing are that elevated rates for critical care and med-surg tele-nurses are still hanging out in kind of their top of the market levels here in the Midwest. Generally, that means $2,000 to $3,500 a week, and 25 to 40% higher than what normal rates are. So that's, I think, we're going to see continuing. Submissions for jobs are down, so especially ICU, telemetry, med-surg. A month ago, we were seeing 50 submissions to open jobs here in the Midwest, and now there's just a couple. So good shot if you're looking for a contract in Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, or Oklahoma. You've got at least a year of experience. You're going to be in luck and should be able to capitalize on some of those rates. ER and operating room, we are seeing some of those positions coming back here and there. They're definitely more competitive because there's less open needs and more travelers, but even if you're a ER or OR, PACU nurse, you're going to be able to find some opportunities right now. I'll also say a trend that we're seeing is that day shift spots are filling up a lot quicker than night shift. So if you're a night shift traveler or a typical days nurse that is looking at maybe thinking about doing night shift, you have the pick of the litter right now. If you're a night shift traveler, especially in critical care or med tele specialties, you're going to be able to negotiate a lot more around this contract, whether it's more guaranteed hours, more flexible schedule, very set, specific schedule, block schedule, vacation time, things like that. Night shifters are in hot demand right now. We've gotten a lot more direct relationships with clients here in the Midwest, and we're seeing interview times definitely less than 24 hours. A lot of the submissions that we're having, particularly for night shifters, they're getting interviews and offers within a couple hours of submission, and we expect that to continue also for the next several months. Some of the hottest jobs I wanted to point out, we've got Springfield, Missouri has got critical care, neurotrauma intensive care, night shift openings by the dozens, 36 or 48 hours guaranteed, and you're looking between $2,500 and $3,500 per week in gross income based on the hours that you work there. Kansas City has got a ton of open PACU and OR positions well over $2,000 a week. And on the Missouri side, we've got Med Tele at $2,200, Critical Care at $2,600, Cath Lab openings at $2,450 per week. St. Louis, we've got I think about 35 or 40 open step-down positions. Progressive care, either cardiac or neuro or just general step-down, all paying over $2,200 a week just on 36 hours. So some really great rates there. Little Rock, Arkansas, and pretty well everywhere around Arkansas is hurting for every specialty, particularly critical care, telemetry, and med-surg nurses. And a lot of those, especially the night shifters, you can write your own checks. Suggest the pay that you need to take the assignment. We can check with the facilities and see if we can get it approved, especially you experienced travelers that can come in and take over a unit kind of right away. They're willing to be flexible on the bill and pay rates. Everywhere around Arkansas needs a ton of nurses. If you're open to Arkansas, let us know. There are a couple hundred open positions there right now, days and nights. Tons of open positions from California to West Virginia, thousands and thousands of open positions. So it should not be trouble for anybody to find a travel job right now, even if you're emergency or operating room specialties that have been kind of tough to find. I also wanted to point out some non-COVID assignments that we've got. Several of the small hospitals in Missouri and especially Arkansas and Kansas have a significant number of facilities that are doing non-COVID assignments with more traditional rates or slightly elevated rates because of the competitive market. You won't have to take any COVID patients. We can get that written in your contract. And they are having a tough time filling these needs because the bill rates are normal. And so there's not a lot of demand around those. A lot of travelers are on assignment or are looking at those high paying assignments. So if you're specifically looking for a non-COVID assignment in the Midwest, we absolutely can help you out. And a lot of these hospitals would really love to get a chance to talk to you and show you why they've got a great assignment out there. I want to plug our Nurse Appreciation event that we're putting on in Kansas City on Thursday, August 20th. We'll have drinks provided, food, and a lot of fun. So if you want to RSVP for that, we are giving away a $100 gift card, raffling off for those that RSVP to the event ahead of time. And you can do that at nextmovenurses.com/appreciation. As always, stay up to date with hot jobs and what's happening with Next Move and the travel industry by liking us on Facebook or subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm John Nolan with Next Move, and this is your Travel Nurse Market Update.